using Periscope. We are live on YouTube, and we are live here in the Facebook VIP. If you want to get from here to there, it is very simple. It's going to the website www.dfssweatshop.com. That's how you can make a transition and get over here with these guys who are absolutely sold out to be part of the DFS Sweatshop, where we like to get to the money. So let's go ahead and jump into the slate breakdown. The first game on tonight's slate is a 7:30 tip-off. Remember that. Don't freak out at 6:59. You don't have to freak out at 6:59 because we've got 30 more minutes. So at 7:30, lineups are going to be locking. All right, so first game on the slate is the Detroit Pistons and the New York Knicks. This right now is a 208.5 point total, and it's only a 1.5 point spread in the favor of the Detroit Pistons. So the Detroit Pistons are giving up 1 point to the New York Knicks, man. And we got to talk about this because we already know a couple of guys that I like off of the Detroit side are going to be Tobias Harris. And so, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think you should shy away from Ish Smith. 5K is kind of priced up a little bit, but I don't think you should shy away from Ish Smith because he's had a couple of not so great games in a row. New York Knicks are a get right spot for anybody, and if you kind of want to pay at that, if you want to, Ish Smith is in play for me. If you want to pay down at that point guard spot and maybe get a guy that has 40-point upside, Ish Smith could definitely do that for you. And against what's up, big homie? And of course against Derrick Rose, that's definitely possible. Definitely possible. Now, KCP is another guy that we can look at 5.2. We know that the Knicks give it up to the shooting guard position. I don't know if you want to invest that much in this game. There's not a lot to love in the way of the point totals and the point spreads. I don't know if you... And plus, the Knicks are not playing for anything. There's a couple of guys that are playing for a spot on next year's squad, but as far as, this team trying to be, trying to have playoff aspirations, that's not it. That's not it. So I don't think you have to look too hard at this game. If you like a couple of spots, you take advantage of those. You already know I like Tobias Harris. I am on Marcus Morris in some spots, and I will give consideration to Andre Drummond. Now, I just got to ask the question. Is Melo resting? That's something that we don't know yet. We know that he is available to play, but it doesn't say yet if he's going to be starting. So we've got to take a look at that. John Lure, Kurt Cover brought that up. John Lure is the player that I kind of like. D-Rose playing for a contract. D-Rose is playing for a contract next year, and that's somebody that we can take a look at. Hernan Gomez is also a play that we may be able to look at, especially if he's starting, man, because I've got a feeling, I got a feeling that we're not going to see Carmelo much, if we do see him at all. I've got a feeling. And if that's true, and we can see, meaningful minutes for Guillermo Hernan Gomez, I like that spot. I'm all good with that. Courtney Lee is not a player that I really like, not at all. I won't be playing Carmelo even if he does play. I'm not playing him. I don't even like Kristaps Porzingis in this game. There's other spots that I can go and get, solid production for even cheaper of a price because he's still priced up to 7.4. That's a little too much for him. That's too much. Now, O'Quinn, Jesse brings up O'Quinn. O'Quinn is, to me, is a guy that is merely a tournament punt. Merely a tournament punt. Not somebody that I think you should build lineups around or have in a lot of different spots. I just don't think so. I'm not going to be fucking with that. And, I really wish Melo would sit because that kind of, hurts the Mindaugas Kuzminskas. It really does. So I hope Melo doesn't play. I really hope Melo doesn't play. And that's exactly what I would call Kyle O'Quinn. He would be a dart throw, a major dart throw. I'm not playing Melo at all. No. All right, so targets on the Knicks side are going to be Hernan Gomez. At center, hopefully he does get the start. It's going to be Derrick Rose in some spots playing for that contract against the Detroit Pistons, matched up against Ish Smith, who is not a very great defender at all. And also, you may want to look to Mindaugas Kuzminskas if you feel like Melo will not see a ton of run. That's the way you can look. Just got a on Twitter, a guy says that Drummond is a pivot for Gobert. And you know what? I just cannot play Drummond in a game where I think it could get out of hand. And I mean, he's a little bit cheaper at 7.6K. He's a little bit cheaper, but I just like I like to pay down for the center today, man. There's a couple of centers that I like that are very, very cheap. Feel like my comments are invisible. Samuel, your comments are not invisible. There's 3 of you. Go ahead, hit me with your comments. What? Go ahead. I'm trying not to search for your comments. Is today a day, a stack slate, or do we have a core? Today is a core 4 day. Anytime we have 6 games or more, I like to rock with a core 4. But the fact that it is 6 games, and a lot of the values are quite condensed, you can definitely rock with some stacks. I will have a couple of stacks. I like San Antonio as a stack, as a matter of fact, and I also like, I didn't mean to rhyme that, I just did that, but I do like San Antonio as a stack. I also like Toronto as a stack in some spots as well. And that, speaking of Toronto, that is the next game that we're moving on to. This is Kyrie too cheap at 7.9. Yes, Kyrie is too cheap. At 7.9, Kyrie Irving is too cheap for me. I must get some Kyrie in my lineups. See, Kyrie makes me, rostering Kyrie today makes me, not so down about not rostering LeBron. Because, usually on TV games, I like to lock LeBron ass in everywhere. But I don't think I have to do that. Next game we're talking about is the Orlando Magic at the Toronto Raptors. This is a 207.5 point total. The Toronto Raptors have given up 8 points in a 107.8 point total. That's not a ton of points. And what that says to me is we can look to the studs in Toronto. Which there really is 1, maybe 2. DeMar DeRozan, definitely. How much is Russ? He's hard to fade on short slates, but the value isn't. Yeah, okay. Russell Westbrook, 12.5. Didn't play very well in Russell Westbrook terms last time out against the Dallas Mavericks. They actually limit the point guard position in some spots. I don't think today is a day where you have to pay up for Russell Westbrook. Usually, those days where you got to get Westbrook is a day when you got him and Harden on the slate. And not only do you have to, play Westbrook, but you got to make a choice between Westbrook and Harden. And I don't think that you have that today. I don't think we're going to see, criminally high point totals, scoring today on DraftKings or FanDuel. So I don't have an issue at all with not playing Westbrook as much. In the 5 lineups I got right now, I've got him in 1. So I'm 1 of 5 on Russell Westbrook today. I don't have to be all over him today because I don't think that, number one, I don't trust the point total, number one. I don't trust the point total in that Oklahoma City and Dallas game because they got it at 1, -1. I don't trust that point total. I think that Oklahoma City can get on their ass and the game will be over because Dallas really isn't playing for anything. They're really not. So I don't want to take a chance like we did like last week. We rostered Russell Westbrook, in a very close point total. The dude goes out, gets a triple-double in 3 quarters, but only scores 60 DraftKings points, and now we all looking crazy because he spent 13.3. He gave us blue balls. That's not what I want to do. So moving on to the Orlando and Toronto game. Real quick, Corey Joseph, yes. A lot of y'all are not going to want to play Corey Joseph, but look at the price, man. The dude is 4.8K. That is cheap as shit. Corey Joseph is cheap as shit right now. I have no issue with rostering Corey Joseph. I like him in the spot that he's in, especially matched up against Elfrid Payton. Now, this team is not playing for much. Orlando is not playing for much. And I don't see them, totally, keeping this game close. It's an 8-point spread. So I think Kojo can be a solid play. I do like Jonas Valanciunas. The dude is very cheap, 4.7. What's up, Marion Jackson? Big homie? Ibaka is going to have a big game. I don't see that. A lot of us are buying into the narrative associated with this game on both sides. There's a huge narrative. Oh, man, that, so he says he's been cheap because he was playing like shit. Actually, Corey Joseph has not been playing like shit. He's been playing pretty well lately. Let's check it out. This is the last few games. Okay, 23.25 at 4.8K. 14 points. Not bad. I mean, not good against Miami. But against Miami, you don't expect anybody to score points. Overtime game against Chicago, 24.75. 32 against Indiana. 27 against Detroit. 26 against Oklahoma City. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Over the last 6 games, he's at value 5 out of the last 6 games. He's 5 out of the last 6 games. This dude has met value. So Corey Joseph is a play that I'm quite interested in. He's going to be a part of my Toronto stack, actually. So, of course, we like Valanciunas. Delon Wright. What are your thoughts on Delon Wright? I like him. 3K. Could see some time in Scrub Love. I have no issue rostering Delon Wright. especially in my Westbrook lineup where I'm trying to pay up for that stud value. I have no issue there. He's the player that I kind of like. I kind of like him. Next, we're talking about Norman Powell at 3.3K, another play that I kind of like. And the narrative on this other side, I hear people talk about it. Oh man, we've got Terrence Ross going back to Toronto, blah 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 blah. And I get it. I get it. We love narratives. We want a narrative to be a part of our roster builds because it's so convenient to be like, oh yeah, this is a narrative invested in this game, so this guy's gonna go out and ball. But I'm gonna tell you something about this. On FanDuel, I like him. He's 4.2. Corey Green. So is it a stars scrub slate or a more balanced? I would say it was a more balanced slate. I say you grab that high dollar star, that low scrub cat, and then you make that balance in the middle of the lineup. All right, so I'm gonna tell you like this. Everybody's saying, "Oh man, Terrence Ross gonna go back to Toronto. He's gonna ball." Blah blah blah, and that could happen. Yeah, that could happen. But on FanDuel, where he's 4.2, I love him. On DraftKings, where he's 5K, that's not really a play that I feel comfortable in rostering a lot. Like I won't have a ton of Terrence Ross. I really won't. But on FanDuel, I can definitely I can definitely see rostering him on FanDuel where he's cheaper. Can you see me now? We good? All right, cool. All right, so on the Orlando side, we just talked about Terrence Ross a little bit in that 10th ranked DVP matchup. The projection on him is about 23 DraftKings points. That's okay, but I need more. I would much rather have him on FanDuel. Aaron Gordon is not a player that I'm particularly interested in. Neither is Evan Fournier. I do like some Elfrid Payton. Going up against the 18th ranked DVP, 7.1K. The price is kind of a little hard to digest, but I still think we can take advantage of that. Vucevic is Vooch. Tonight, you're going to have to choose between Drummond, Vucevic, and you're going to have to choose between Drummond, Vucevic, and Gobert. Like, where do you want to rock? Where do you want to rock? Do you want to pay up the 8K for Gobert? Do you want to save completely at that high tier center spot with Drummond, or do you want to meet right in the middle and grab Vucevic? Well, of these three centers, only two of them are really playing for something. Do I believe that Terrence Ross will exceed value on DK? I wouldn't bet on it. I wouldn't bet that he would. I think he will on DraftKings. I can see him easily scoring. On FanDuel, I can easily see him scoring 20 plus FanDuel points easily. And I think a lot of us like Gobert. I think a lot of us do like Gobert, and I do like him. He's in a good spot. You like what Rudy said about not buying into the narrative? Yes, definitely. Yeah, I'm not buying into that narrative, man. The dude is not a great player. And then Rudy also talked about Mario Hezonja, who's at 3.2K. Because we know that the Toronto Raptors do give it up to that shooting guard position. They do give it up. So, the small forward position. So that's a guy you can look at Mario Hezonja at 3.2K. Do not sleep on him. Ibaka, get a lot of questions about Ibaka. There's no narrative involved with Ibaka, bro. He played with them for half a season. He played most of his career with the Oklahoma City Thunder. Yes, I like Tony Parker. There is no narrative associated with Ibaka, and especially look at it like this. It's never a narrative when the team is coming to you. Now, when he's going back to play against a team in front of their fans, yeah, that's a narrative. Jeff Green is out, of course, so that's why we look at Hezonja. Definitely, there's a narrative involved. But when a team is coming to you, when I leave a team and go to another team and then they come to me, that's not the same. Because I don't really have a beef with the players on the team. I really don't have a beef with the coaches. But when I go there to play and the fans disrespect me, I have a beef with the fans, and I'm going to show their ass that I was good and they made a mistake by letting me go. So that's where we're looking at it with that. So next game we're going to be talking about is probably the marquee matchup on the evening. This is the game that a lot of us are going to have exposure to, man. We're going to have a ton of exposure to this game. Nationally televised game. You got LeBron. You got Kyrie. So you've got Kawhi Leonard. It's gonna be a very, very good game. You've got the Cleveland Cavaliers going to San Antonio. The spread did move a little bit. It was at 4.5. Now it is 5 even. So it's a 211.5 point total, with the San Antonio Spurs having an implied team total of 108.3. Dan Nicholson says Tony Parker is his play of the day, and I tend to agree with that. I love Tony Parker. Let's be real about this. Over the last 3 games, do you know what Tony Parker has done to the Cleveland Cavs? 36 points. Like he has destroyed them over the last 3 games. And I don't see it changing because we know that Kyrie Irving defense is nothing to be afraid of. Now, another thing, another way I feel about Tony Parker, yeah, he's an old man, he's a savvy veteran, but he's one of those cats that comes to play when it's time. Like he may sit, he may rest, he may not play very hard if they're winning, but when it's time to play, when it's playoff atmosphere involved, we see the absolute best of Tony Parker, and I think that we definitely see that tonight. I think we see that tonight. And at 4K, I mean, if he goes out and does what he normally does against them at 4K, you're talking about 9X value. That's awesome. So I do have quite a bit of Tony Parker, which allows you to not only get a piece of the marquee television matchup on the slate, it also allows you to get pay up in other spots to the studs you like. Like I said, I like a San Antonio stack. So of course, we're looking at Kawhi Leonard. We're looking at LaMarcus Aldridge. Now, I do have something to say about this, and I want you to really, really pay attention, okay? Because all day, right now, these are the smarter DFS players are playing. If you're still playing right now, if you are still invested in NBA DFS right now, as volatile and crazy as it has been, that means you are serious about this shit. That means you know your shit. Just the fact that you're playing right now means you know your shit. And if you know your shit, a lot of people are wanting to take the discount in Kawhi Leonard. So right now, I see Kawhi Leonard being more highly owned than LeBron. That's just me. From what I'm seeing, looking around the industry, conversations that I'm having with different people, I'm seeing Kawhi being more high owned than LeBron, just for discount's sake. And that he allows you to fit a little bit more in your lineup. If you look at it, it's an $800 salary difference. It may not seem like a lot to a motherfucker who don't play a lot, but how many times have $800 been a difference? $800 DraftKings dollars been a difference between you getting the guy you want to, as opposed to settling for a guy, right? So that's kind of making me the tournament player in me. You know I'm a tournament player. The tournament player in me has got me kind of leaning over to my first inclination, which is always play LeBron on national TV because the dude comes out and balls. And not saying I'm gonna fade Kawhi, but it's kind of tilting me over to having my more of my as a contrarian play. When you have LeBron as a contrarian play, whenever you ever seen LeBron be a contrarian play, usually he is the chalk. So I kind of see LeBron as a contrarian play as it applies to this game specifically and to the slate overall. Because everybody's going to be on Westbrook. Everybody's going to be on Kawhi. We're going to have a lot of cats fuck with DeMar DeRozan. So that kind of, to me, people are going to say, oh man, I don't have to get a piece of this game in LeBron. I can get a piece in Kyrie. So I don't think LeBron goes as high owned as he should. And for that reason, I probably will be overweight. On the field when it comes to LeBron. I love it. Now, Kevin Love is a no for me. You know what? Kevin Love could go out there at 7.3 and just fuck around and get a quick double-double and go sit down and kind of make value. But I know what you're saying. You're saying the reason for what I'm saying is because one is a smarter play than the other. But I'm a tournament player, baby. I want the whole bag. So if I see a spot if I see a crease, a little A gap that I can hit that a lot of people ain't gonna be on, I'm gonna fuck with it. That's what I'm gonna do. So we got Kevin Love at 7.3. He's projected right now at 34 DraftKings points. That's not bad, but I think I need a little more upside. Plus, I need a solid minutes count for him, and that's not what we've been fed right now. Tristan Thompson at 4.3. The matchup is going to be against Dwayne Dedmon, who is not a great defender. He's a very solid rebounder, but he's not a great defender. And I think we could see a solid double-double for Tristan Thompson at very low price and even lower ownership. I don't think anybody is going to roster him at all. So I like him. I like Tristan Thompson today. J.R. Smith is a wild card play. You've got to almost predict when J.R. Smith is going to go nuts. And that's a shooter, bro. He is a shooter. LBJ and Leonard both projected at 20% ownership. I get the projection, but I guarantee you when it's all said and done, I don't see unless I change the whole thing with this one conversation. I don't think I'm big enough to do that. But I just think that LeBron is going to be less owned than Kawhi because people are going to want to get that salary. Elf is on the shelf for me. I probably won't have too much exposure to him at all. All right, so not too much that I like on the Cleveland side as far as the bench goes. I think I would stop at the big three. That's where I would stop. The big three and maybe Tristan Thompson. That's where I would stop. On the San Antonio side, back to them. LaMarcus Aldridge, yes, he's in play. Tony Parker, yes, he is in play. Paul Gasol, I liked before we knew that we were going to be getting. Manu Ginobili, I liked before we knew that Danny Green was going to be playing. And now that Danny Green is in, I kind of like him a little bit more. He's similarly priced. They're both 3.6. I do like Paul Gasol. Jesse McCausey just asked, how do I feel about Paul Gasol? I like him in the spot. He has played well against him in the last few meetings. I don't have an issue there at all. Plus, Tristan Thompson being the only true center that the Cleveland Cavs have, who's going to be guarding him, when he relieves that first team, when Paul Gasol comes in for the first team starters. So I don't have an issue with Powell in that spot at all. Not too much else to like on the San Antonio side. We covered pretty much 5 guys deep: Kawhi, LaMarcus Aldridge, maybe some Danny Green, Tony Parker. Now, one quick thing. Dedmon is 3.2K. I hate to play people. I don't like Patty Mills. I just got asked a question about Patty Mills. I don't like Patty Mills. Patty Mills has to shoot a ton of shots, and I think they play safer against the Cleveland Cavaliers today. I don't think that they just go out and let Patty Mills sling up 3-pointers the whole game. So I'm not going to be on Patty Mills. He's not a player that I particularly like. Next guy we're talking about, or the next game we're going to talk about, is another game I can see a large investment being thrown in. Got a quick question: Drummond or Vucevic? For me, in tournaments, Vucevic. In cash, I go Drummond. All right, next game we're talking about is a 205.5 point total. This is the Dallas Mavericks at home hosting the Oklahoma City Thunder. You already know my take on Russell Westbrook. I do want to get pieces of this game. I don't think I have to play Russell Westbrook today. I am not back down in the corner because I think that there's other studs that could, hit that same point mark that I expect him getting. He's projected right now, in my projection, as getting 67 DraftKings points. And, at 12.5K, I mean, you can live with that. That is, about 4.9x, but I need more. And I would look to the other guys surrounding Westbrook because the point total is only 103.3. That's not a huge point total. And if he goes out and does his thing and plays his game, and he does, and people think, oh man, Russell Westbrook got a triple-double. Well, that don't mean he got 75 DraftKings points. All he want to do is get a triple-double and win the game. That's all he want to do. I don't think he's really, hooked on, I got to get a big 38, 15, and 15 triple-double. He just wants a triple-double. And he's going to get that fairly easy, I think, in this matchup. But I don't think he's going to, go ham and drop 80 DraftKings points. Could I be wrong? Yes, that's why I'm going to have a limited amount of exposure to him. But my better judgment is telling me to look around some other guys on the team. Guys like Vic Oladipo, going against a 12th ranked DVP priced at 6K. It's telling me take a look at Enes Kanter at 5.4K. Very solid spot, coming in, seeing that second team defense at the center or power forward spot. It's telling me maybe take a shot at a guy like Taj Gibson at 4.1. Even the only thing I like about Taj Gibson is he doesn't get a ton of minutes. He has to really do his shit in the first quarter. If he does his shit in the first quarter, then you're good. So I would curb my enthusiasm about him. But the guys that I like the most in this game are going to be Vic Oladipo and Enes Kanter. Don't even like Steven Adams at 4.9. I don't like him. At 4.9, I might as well go and pay for Enes Kanter, who is a point per minute monster. That's what I might as well do. So those are the guys that I like on the Oklahoma City side. Checking out the Dallas side, a lot of people are going to be on Dirk Nowitzki, I think. Not me. Not a big fan of what he brings to the table in the way of, not rebounding, not getting those peripheral stats. Plus, I think we're going to see Nerlens Noel get a start. Nerlens Noel probably going to be getting a start, who I don't really love in this spot either. Lil Bruh bounces back today. You heard it here first. At 5.3, I think Lil Bruh bounces back. I also like J.J. Barea at 4K. That is a very cheap price on him. But why would I roster J.J. Barea at 4K when I can just get Tony Parker at the same price? I'm good. No, I don't like Roberson. I'm not on Roberson today. Harrison Barnes in a very interesting spot. Price is at 6.3. I love Harrison Barnes on FanDuel, not on DraftKings. Wes Matthews is in play. My projection on Wes Matthews is 25 points. That is right at 5x value. So I probably won't be fucking with him too much. He's probably like the only other shooting guard option on the slate that, kind of makes sense, Let's we want to question about what Nerlens did against them last time. We're going to open that up. Nerlens last time, he had 25.7 DraftKings points against Oklahoma City. Didn't really tear it up, but he was priced at 5.4K and just got close to about 4.8 X value. So Nerlens did not smash the last time. Didn't smash. Harrison Barnes, we talked about him. I kind of like him at 6.3. If they do keep the game close, he will definitely be one of the reasons. I like Lil Bruh at 5.3. I can look to JJ Barea at 4K if I have to. Not too much else I like off of the Dallas Mavericks bench. Delon Wright or Tony Parker? Tony Parker, bro. What kind of question is that? Tony Parker. Now, should have went over some of that because we do have some injury concerns when it comes to a couple of these games. We know that Iman Shumpert and Kyle Korver are... Iman Shumpert is a game-time decision, and Kyle Korver is out. Right? Orlando, Kyle Lowry, DeMar Carroll, game-time decision, we know that. Jeff Green is out for Orlando, of course. And we've got Carmelo saying that he will play. Lance Thomas is a game-time decision. Joakim Noah, of course, is out for those 20 games for the PEDs. Those are the injuries we got so far. Next game we're talking about is the Memphis Grizzlies going to Sacramento to take on the Kings. All right, let's break this down, okay? Because it is a 198-point total. That means this is the lowest point total on the slate. Lowest point total on the slate. This is a very touchy game because we never know what Sacramento is going to do. What's up, DP? Good to see you in here, man. Do I like Tim Frazier at all? Yes, I like Tim Frazier. He's very cheap. I like him. All right. Memphis Grizzlies. Mike Conley is in a spot that we are all probably going to avoid him, and he's going to go out and fucking smash. That's the spot that Mike Conley is in right now. 7.5K. The projection is about 40. I like him today. I really like Mike Conley in this spot. These guys are really... They're not playing for much in the way of positioning because they're kind of already where they need to be as far as the playoff race goes. But I just think this is a problem. This is a spot where I hate to play Conley, but that's when he balls out. Is when I don't want to play him, and I see him in this spot, so I'm gonna have a very limited exposure to him. Jermichael Green is somebody who I kind of like at 4K. Tony Allen at 4K, coming off that really solid game he had yesterday against the Golden State Warriors. I like him. No Vince Carter for me. Marc Gasol. If Marc Gasol is out, I think he was doubtful. Was Marc Gasol doubtful? Is Marc Gasol doubtful? I believe Marc Gasol was doubtful. Based on projections and intuition, I love Mike Conley. So we've got, especially if Marc Gasol is doubtful, somebody has to pick up the scoring load. So that means Zebo is in play. Brandon Wright is in play for the very cheap. Of course, Mike Conley, talked about him already. Jermichael Green. You could stand there. Now, the only reason why I wouldn't say stack Memphis is because the point total is so fucking low. What's going on from Brazil, big homie? Good to see you out there on YouTube. Yeah, Gasol is down. Okay, the point total is so low, so I wouldn't go so deep in this game. But the guys are very cheap. So that's the way you can look at it. Playing Conley, Kyrie, and Parker in the same line. I like that. I do like that. Zebo, yes. Yes, I like Zebo. On the Sacramento side, we've got a couple of game time decisions here. Ty Lawson. We know that Malachi Richardson is out. Looks like everybody's going to play for the Sacramento side right now. But this is a 10:30 tip-off. So I want you to be very, very careful in your roster builds, man. If you play Yahoo, you can play some of these Sacramento guys. But if you play DraftKings or FanDuel exclusively, you want to beware, bro. I don't like Vince Carter. I'm not a Vince Carter, big homie. You better be aware. The only guy that I think you can roster safely is going to be Buddy Hield. In a very solid matchup, DVP-wise, 28th ranked DVP against that shooting guard spot. The kid has been trending up, playing very well. 5.7 is the price on him. I've got him projected about 26 DraftKings points. That is not bad. He does have upside. What do I think about Terrence Ross? I love Terrence Ross on FanDuel, not so much on DraftKings. Tyler Ennis. Tyler Ennis is in play, but he's a tournament dart. Let's not be confused. He's a dart in a tournament. Do not put him in your cash games. Cauley Stein. Cauley Stein can be I like Cauley Stein in the spot. He's priced down to 5.5. That's doable. Tyreek Evans. And now we're getting real crazy with it because hopefully all these guys play. Just last night, we didn't see Ty Lawson. We didn't see Costa Kufa, so we don't know if these guys are gonna be playing. So I'm gonna try my best to steer as clear as I can away from everybody on the Sacramento Kings, with the exception of Willie Cauley-Stein and Buddy Hield. That's what I'm gonna try to do. The last game on the slate is the New Orleans Pelicans going to Utah to take on the Jazz. This is a 199-point total. It is Evans out, Aflalo starting. See? There's no need to get cute. Fuck with them Sacramento Cats, man. There's no need to get cute. Fuck with them Sacramento Cats. There really isn't. I'm telling you, it's not. Buddy Hield, cut off. That's it. After Buddy Hield, that's it. That's it. All right, so we've got the New Orleans and going to Utah to take on the Jazz. Right now, we've got a game time decision tag on DeMarcus Cousins. Omar Asik, of course, is out. We got a game time decision on Gordon Hayward, Derek Favors, and Shelvin Mack. Well, Derek Favors is out. Shelvin Mack is a game time decision. So, what are we going to do about the situation in New Orleans? If Boogie is out, of course, give me all the Anthony Davis. The only problem is this is also a 10:30 tip-off. So we've got to be careful rostering here. Because you look at Anthony Davis matched up in the 8th ranked DVP at 10.2K. The projection there is about 50 DraftKings points. That's very solid. Very solid. And that's in terms of, DeMarcus Cousins not playing. So I'm not sure how I feel about that. The one guy I like Drew Holiday. I like Tim Frazier in this matchup. I think they both can be very solid plays. We've got a price down on Drew Holiday at 6.7, matched up against George Hill, who has not been lights out lately. You know how I feel about Rodney Hood on the other side. Tyreek Evans is probably going to be out. Don't fade Sacramento completely. They're always in winning GPPs. Yeah, if you can guess them right. And if you got 150 lineups to throw in, and you can kind of curb and dip and dive and dip through that Sacramento shit, yeah. But if you're a regular guy like me, I'm rolling out 5 lines, baby. If any one of them out, if I miss on one of those Sacramento guys, it's gonna fucking wreck my night. You know what I'm saying? So I can't. If I can go 150 deep, of course I'm gonna play some Sacramento Cats because I know there's gonna be one of the guys that's gonna score. But Buddy Hield is the only guy that I see from night to night that is like a for sure bet to play. That's where I'm at with that. The New Orleans Pelicans, the point total is 96.3. That means the stud we can roster. Drew Holiday, Anthony Davis, if DeMarcus Cousins is out, definitely. Be on the lookout for Dante Cunningham because if DeMarcus Cousins doesn't play, Cunningham gets the start. He's 3K. That is a tournament play only. Etwan Moore is a no. Jordan Crawford, yes, is a tournament play at 3.5. I kind of like the spot that he would be in if you didn't see DeMarcus Cousins. That gives him one more person in the rotation to jump ahead of. On the Utah side, starting 5 looks like it's going to be Gobert, George Hill, maybe some Ingles, Rodney Hood, and perhaps Boris Diaw. Because right now Gordon Hayward is a game time decision. And if Gordon Hayward doesn't play, I think you play Ingles and you play Hood. I like Ingles and Hood. And also I think Joe Johnson deserves consideration as well if Gordon Hayward is out. That's how we can attack that game. Rudy Gobert should be getting a ton of I'll get people are saying stay away from okay. They're pretty mean on YouTube, bro. Stay away from Rodney Hood. The dude is 3.9K. This is a very solid player, bro. The dude is good. If he's healthy and he's shooting well, he has 40-point upside for real. So I am gonna take a shot at him in a few tournaments. I am. Now I'm not gonna be all over him across the board, but I'm gonna take a shot at him, especially if we don't see Gordon Hayward. If Gordon Hayward's out, I'm locking in Rodney Hood in a couple spots. So that's how we're gonna attack that. Now I do want to talk to you really briefly. The FanDuel baseball stuff just came out, and we are very excited about that. Hopefully, I can be hooking up with the homie Gun Decker pretty soon, and we can hop in there and do some shit together, man. And for all of you cats in the sweatshop, man, I would love for you to co-host, to guest host on the show. I'm bringing on Rudy Herta tonight. He's going to be talking about his perfect lineup strategy and how much that has helped us so far. He's going to be talking about that. Who's my center play on FanDuel? I like either I'm paying all the way down to Valanciunas or I'm paying all the way up to Gobert on FanDuel. That's what I'm doing. I'm paying down to Tyreek Evans is out. He's not playing. Tyreek Evans is not playing. I'm going to be paying all the way down to Valanciunas or all the way up to Gobert. And I even like Hernan Gomez a little bit because he's 5.1K. Same price as Valanciunas on FanDuel. So baseball is going to be popping off pretty soon. I just want you to understand what we're doing here. Okay? I just want you to understand what we're doing here in the sweatshop. What we do know is that this thing is like poker, bro. Like they go out and they put out all of these different lineups, 150 lineups, and that's cool. I don't have an issue with that. I have no problem with the guys that max enter. What I do have a problem is when you max enter and then you are part of the media that tells everybody else who are the good plays and who are the bad plays. Like that's bullshit to me. I will never be a 150 lineup guy because this is the side of the business that I care about, the analysis. I love to analyze the game and report the news to you. So, we are up against the Sharks and the Deception. We're up against that shit. So when you go out and you look at those other shows, if they ain't no indie show, I'm going to run down this is a list of cats that I like. Fantasy Phenom, yeah, check them out. Of course, the homie Gundecker, check him out. Cam ATL in some spots, check him out. There's a few shows that I do like. There's a few guys that I do like. Josh Lloyd, one of the guys that I really respect. I like him, right? But as far as all of that other shit, man, baseball season is upon us. They're going to try to mislead us all year long. They're going to try to mislead us all year long. Let's stick together. We are a small, tight-knit family. I'm not talking about just the sweatshop in general. I'm talking about all of us that are on YouTube, all of the common, everyday cats that are just trying to get to the money, right? We got different shows and different cliques that we follow. We got Fantasy Phenom over here. We got Gun over here. But just know that together we can strike a blow in DFS and take back some of that money that we've been giving the Sharks over the last few years. That's something that I really, really want y'all to lay claim to and understand. So thank y'all so much for being a part of today's Midday Mix. Let's go out tonight and let's get to the money. Let's make it happen. Stick to your core four plays. If you had guys on your mind when you first came into the Midday Mix, don't let me take you off of your plays, man. If news starts to come out that you don't think is going to be insanely crazy and fuck up all the lineups, don't change that shit. Keep what you got because you're smart. You're part of this. You know what you're doing. You're in the sweatshop. You're on YouTube. You're on Twitter. You're invested in this. So don't change up your shit, man. And if you do change some shit, make new lineups. Don't delete what you had. Make new lineups. Got you. Y'all take it easy, man. Y'all have a wonderful, awesome Monday start to your week. Thank y'all so much, man. And as always, when you in the sweatshop, keep it 300.